Welcome to Neutral Voices. I'm Dr. B. I am not AI. This is the real. The
real
queen.
thing.
Yes,
It's the real thing.
Listen, this is in depth, and we getting ready to talk about AI, artificial intelligence. Actually, they were talking about it before I got here. So, the truth is, there's a lot to know about it. Some people are afraid of it. What about y'all? No? Yeah, a little bit?
Yeah, it has some frightening things to it.
I was going to say,
It has
I
a
think
lot of frightening things to
it
it.
does. I think at the beginning when we were hearing about flying cars and some of the other exciting things and the Jetson and pushing a button or writing in the air like we see. What was that movie?
I don't remember, but I know.
But
what
you
you're
know the movie I'm talking about, and they were writing in the air and
Right.
things like that, and now they actually are doing those
Right.
types of things. So, yeah, so anyway, thank you for joining us tonight, and we're going to have an amazing conversation with great people as always. Artificial intelligence, if you know something about it, put it in the chat. Let's talk about it. Engage with us. Meanwhile, there's different types of artificial intelligence, more than I knew about.
Yes.
So, what do we got? The narrow, which is the weak. I'm going to say that's
Right.
just the surface. That's what we do all the time, right? And then what about super intelligence?
Super intelligence, that's the intelligence that where if AI is not controlled, it's going to go. It's going to become its own intelligence.
Okay. Kind of like when it goes rogue,
Yes.
almost. Super intelligence, general
That's
intelligence.
that's what we use every day.
Yeah.
So those are the things that we have. But we were having that conversation before we came on air.
Yeah. And how did you use artificial intelligence today?
You got your cell phone.
Your cell phone, computers,
I was going to say
everything.
Autocorrect.
the bank, maybe.
Yeah, the bank ATMs. Yeah.
I mean, everything is artificial intelligence right now. But if we keep going in that direction, we're gonna be a bunch of numbless people.
Yeah.
Really.
When you say numbless, what do you?
Well, you're gonna have your brain gonna be numb because you're not gonna be able to. Artificial intelligence is good for certain situations, not everyday life. Now that I got deeper into it, and it's one thing I always said, it's gonna destroy our creativity.
Yes.
From just straight destroy it, because now we'd be at the point where we strictly got AI.
Yeah.
It's gonna get to the point where we go to church and it's gonna be I stretch my hands out to AI.
Come on.
You see what I'm saying?
I would expect that
what you're saying,
one.
but I don't think it will
Yes, it will,
destroy
because-
our creativity.
Yes, it do. I'm gonna tell you how.
Okay.
Because if you look at the definition of artificial intelligence.
Let's look at that.
It says the theory and the development of a computer system that's able to perform tasks that normally requires human intelligence.
Right. And,
Let's put that together.
When you say normally requires, so you
Yes.
said at one point it's not going to need our intelligence anymore.
Yes,
That's where you're
it's gonna
going with
get to
that
that point.
statement.
Well, we were having this conversation, and I'm going to use it because it does come in and it's fitting, because you gave the levels or the kinds of AI, which is the normal, the general, and the
Narrow,
lowly, the narrow.
etc.
So, and I asked the question before we came on air: what was the first popular artificial intelligence?
Again,
No, that was the first utilization of it, the chess. But what was the
a
first?
pager.
No.
Okay.
compute like
I wasn't here. I didn't get to play the game.
No.
What
It-
I would, I
Jill
missed
wasn't
that
here
too.
either. It's actually the digital calculator.
Oh,
And think about.
Okay.
My question is, now
All right, what
that
about
I
a
think
clock?
about what you're saying.
Okay.
I'm telling you what. Go
Okay.
ahead.
I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna let you finish it. You said the digital calculator, right?
Digital calculator.
Okay. What other kind of calculator are there?
There was Abacus. That was a calculator. That was the first calculator ever invented. So here's
look that one up, 'cause
the
I haven't
Abacus.
heard of that one.
The Abacus is the first calculator ever invented.
let's try to figure out how to spell it. Time for that,
But here's what I'm saying, because, and I was using the example, and this is what it was stated when I was reading it, because it takes the human intellect away. The digital calculator, you inputted some information, and then you got other information. So what it is it took away the process. You didn't see the process of the information being formed. Like, and that's where I say, the human intellect, where you would do long form math, whatever, you could just add it in, and boom, you'll get the result of what you inputted. So that is, where you say the narrow, that it's simple, but it was one of the first forms of artificial intelligence. And we grew accustomed to that because we got calculators on everything. Most time when everybody asks us something, what we do, we put a calculator out when we want to figure out things.
But you think about this, and I get what you're saying, because now that you put it somewhat in some halfway decent words. When we say
Really, E? That's what I said before we came on there, but go ahead.
no, because honestly, when we was in school, elementary and middle school, they didn't want us to use
You didn't use
calculators
calculators.
because of the simple fact they wanted us to have that process thinking that helps us process. That's why I say I understand the use of algebra now. It was going through the steps, understanding the process. And now I don't have to understand the process. I could just say, hey,
Just get the answer.
yeah. So if all I can do is get the answer and don't understand how to process stuff, let's think about what I said earlier. It's
Okay.
gonna numb our brains.
Yeah.
Okay, now when you said the calculator, because I'm not familiar with that, I'm not familiar with a lot of stuff with the AI when you start getting back into history, but I'm just trying to think about when they first start like flying the plane.
Flying a plane.
Yeah, and they had to fly the airplane. I'm saying, so back then, automobiles, different things like that, so they didn't have to use any type of...
And understand what I said. I said the most commonly used
Okay, the calculator.
AI was
Okay,
a
I
calculator.
was thinking you were saying like the first
No,
form
it was
of...
it was the most commonly used, artificial intelligence, and we all grew accustomed to it.
Okay.
So it's not the first form; it's the
Gotcha.
most commonly used form of artificial intelligence.
Gotcha. And so now in my head, I'm thinking about the computer because AI also involves, so there's the other one,
Yes.
machines,
Yes.
et cetera. So now I'm thinking about the computer, which the first computer was like, how big was it? Like
It was like
could
a
it
whole
even fit in
room.
this
It was like a home room.
I know, like, could it even fit in this
Right.
room, right? So we went from that to now it seems like they keep trying to shrink them.
It's in your pocket. Everything you needed in your pocket.
Yeah.
I let
and-
y'all talk about the first original computer was as big as a room, right? Mm-hmm. That went through a steps of process.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that's artificial intelligence when if the mainframe was as big as this room, that meant it went through a bunch of steps.
And men
And
make it.
and the people had to use that. I mean, work it for it could actually work.
But you gotta look at your definition. Some of the processes it eliminated some of the processes that the men would have to do.
Okay, eliminate
So-
some of them,
so-
but you still had people
Yeah.
have to do other functions for it.
I'm
right,
glad.
but the computer had to learn. So I just want to say to complete your definition. So you gave part of it. It says it involves creating algorithms and models that enable machines to learn and make
I
decisions.
don't know which definition you got because mine don't say that.
Well, that's my definition.
The rest of my definition says
and wait, where'd you get your definition?
I'm on Oxford, baby.
I got mine from Chat
Oh.
GPT. So you got to catch up. You got an old one.
she used
You gonna-
She just called you out.
Okay.
Here's the funny part about it. She used AI.
Because it's about AI tonight,
But it don't
baby.
give them the correct definition.
Come on, baby.
It doesn't
It's
give the
about
correct
AI
definition.
tonight. We're
Yeah.
gonna be.
And once again,
I get it.
doesn't
He trying to be artificially
No,
intelligent.
I'm not being artificial, but it's not giving the correct
The
definition.
definition, according to Chat
Chat.
GPT.
Guess who?
Wait,
guess-
hold on,
guess
hold
what's
on, hold
over
on.
Chat? The Oxford Language Dictionary.
It's over
That's
with.
that's
But-
way
always-
But
Yeah. Come on now.
but
But
before
it's
we
what
get
I'm
too
saying,
far,
right.
because there's some people that are of age that don't know what chat.
Sorry, E.
Can you
I
please?
know what chat is.
No, I'm not saying you.
What are you trying to say? I'm
I want
sorry.
you. I want
on
you to give our audience, because you use this a lot. What is it? Chat GBT? Is that what it is? What is it?
Yeah.
What is it?
Well-
Tell us what it is.
Well, we're going to get to Chat GPT.
Okay.
But I wanted to get into the history first before we move up to today.
Okay.
I just wanted to get that out because we were talking about the big computer.
Yes.
And how computers actually work.
Mm-hmm.
The man has to do something with the computer for it to even exist. So all I was saying, I just wanted to complete the definition
That
because
wasn't a complete definition.
but I'm getting ready to tell you. So my definition does align with yours, the first half, but then there's a period, and then it says it involves creating algorithms. Do you
Yeah.
agree?
Oh, yeah, I would
and
agree
and
with
so
that.
models and machines and etc. So watch this.
Uh-huh.
When I started out and I said there's different types of AI. The other one that I did not mention, because I mention it now, is machine learning AI.
Okay, are you done?
No.
Okay,
So
keep going.
machine learning
shut it all down.
is, and it's just, this is a portion of it, but a subset of AI that focuses on enabling machines to learn from data without being explicitly programmed. So you can input the data and it will learn from the data that was put into the machine, and therefore it can spit out other things that may connect to
Yeah.
what
Can I get it?
Let's
Hold on,
let-
hold on.
Hold on. You can get it, but I want you to hold that.
Girl fight. Come
know,
on,
right?
Jill.
I want you to hold that because that's going to be a contention of conversation shortly.
Okay.
I want you to hold that. Go
Okay.
ahead, Jill.
Thank you. So as far as the data that you're talking about, so when you read the definition, the word data came up. And I'm glad that he said what he said, because who has to program the computer? A man does. So Clarence has to program this computer. Who has to program the machines or the robots? The AI gets their information, like what you said you were just using, from data. Where does the data come from? The data comes from humans.
I just got one question. Did you listen to what she said?
What? I'm confused.
I know. That's why I'm
No,
asking.
go ahead.
Did you listen
Go
to
ahead.
what she said? Because here's what she said.
No, I heard what she said.
No, y'all are missing the whole point of what she said. And in her definition, it is correct, and it is what she's saying. You are correct about the data, but she's saying it's going to get to a point where the data has already been inputted. The data has already been inputted.
That's exactly where I was going.
But hold on. That's what I'm saying. So therefore, in some cases, there's no new data to be inputted.
Because it's already in there.
Right.
Right. And that's where I was going next. Not with the definition, but just from the word data, is people don't realize that anybody can be sitting there programming this data, this robot. We don't know if you are biased or you are racist, etc. So putting that in a man's hands to program a robot is scary. But that data has to come from somewhere if it's not already there.
Right. And you
Okay.
say scary.
Did I listen?
Well,
Wow.
because I want to come back to your
Oh no, that's fine. I was just gonna say, when I started out, and I would say, are you afraid?
Yes,
Do you
yes.
feel fearful, and why? And I would say that's one of the reasons why people would say
Exactly.
yes, yes.
Okay, to go back to the definition, because I wasn't going to fall off that one. I'm going to finish reading the Oxford definition, and it goes to say, hush your face, hush your face. It says, such as visual precision, speech recognition, decision making, and translations between languages. So
Yes.
if everything is going to stop you from making a decision, if I can say, I want a pie, and it just put a pie out, don't even ask me what kind of pie I want. It just figure I want an apple pie.
You know,
And you once we fall into that, because it's going to get to the point where artificial intelligence is going to outsmart us.
Because you don't even care what you want or know what you want at that point.
well, and if we can go and look at, we can go back in modern times and look at, TV is not always make believe. It's sometimes predicting.
real.
Sometimes it's
Absolutely.
predicting. Sometimes it's
A lot of time.
forecasting.
Yeah.
Think about it. And my age, I'm gonna tell you, I'm 51. But think about things that we saw back in when we were watching TV. Lost in Space. They had robots. The Jetsons. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. All of these things. The government. There was these computers. There was James Bond had all the newest gadgets. Star Trek. If
Yeah,
you
I
look at
was
Star
gonna
Trek,
say,
look
if
how
you-
much stuff has come from Star
Absolutely.
Trek. So it's not that AI hasn't been here. They had to find ways to introduce it to us, and we have grown accustomed to it because, as you said, the Jetsons in the flying car. When we was watching, Star Trek, and we wanted to see these interactive where I want to see who I'm talking to. Now we got FaceTime, we got Google Meet, we got all of these things that it sometimes it's foretelling of where it is. And if the movies told us these things were coming, the movie's gonna stop us from what iRobot? Have y'all seen the movie AI? Have anybody seen the movie AI?
I haven't seen it.
You ever seen the movie AI, Jill?
Nope.
You seen it, E?
You got something that blows up in it?
No. This movie was in 2001. 2001. And all this conversation we having right now, it had a lot of that in there where this little boy, Haley Joel Osment, he played in Sixth Sense. He was in betwixt, was he real or was he AI? And everybody around him is trying to figure out. He even met himself.
That's kind of like in Gemini, isn't it? With Will
Gemini
Smith
Man,
when he
yeah.
was like,
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, it's to the point where it's simple and it's helpful, like the calculator, phone, all of that helps us. It's simple. We use it, but we grow comfortable with it.
exactly. And you know what? And that's why, when I opened up this, that's how come I was saying there's so many different types. And so even like what E mentioned, that is one of the types of artificial intelligence as far as the natural language process. And so, yes, it has to be programmed. So we get that. But if we move outside of that, let's look at how we use AI today and some of the threats connected to AI. So, Jill, I know you said scared. So right now, just think about when we were talking about, wars and all the different things that's going on with the war, cyber attacks. So one of the things I think that's great about AI is that it will be able to detect the threat and track the hackers and things like that and the stuff that's going on today. It will be able to do that faster than man can do it. So although we may feel a little fearful, we have to look at the, I'll say the progress and where we are today with AI and trust that God created man. So when we start talking about created and who put what and who, etc.
Right.
So if man programmed the computer and gave the computer its sense, so to speak, God created man.
Yes.
And so if we want to look at it like that, man is God's computer. And so God created man and gave him the intelligence, but not just that, but the dominion to rule and to reign and to name all things. And I don't ever think that AI will take the place of God.
Well,
now that's my personal thinking.
It's getting to the point where we rely on it too much.
You-
Hold on, let me finish. When you rely on, it's just like if how you have a stray cat or a stray dog in your neighborhood, and you put food out for it every day.
I don't, but I know people that do.
Yeah, that cat or dog would come to that place every day,
Looking for that food.
looking for that food.
Yes.
And we're human are built the same way. We go to the same spot looking for that same food every day. So
Yes.
if you look at it like this, and you say God created men, yes, He did, but He also gave men a free will. So
Yes.
so once He gave us free will, that means we uncontrollable upstairs a lot of times. So at that point, you telling me
I'm going to have to agree with E.
a mastermind? Okay, I'm a thinker. So I know how to I know how to use this computer.
This is my church finger.
to control you.
Yeah.
Guess what I'm gonna do?
Okay.
I'm gonna use all my intelligence because I know you're not intelligent enough
Right.
to know what I'm doing
Absolutely.
to control you.
I got you.
No.
And so you jumped ahead of my notes. But so one of the things, and it's coming up, so when I mentioned rogue.
Right.
Okay, so it gets negative when it gets into the wrong hands.
Right.
And so that's where you're going with that. But I wanted to talk about it before it gets into the wrong hands,
And
or it becomes abused.
And I want to land in between you and E. Because
Okay.
Here's what. The only thing that I have, and E's right because it depends, and you're right about God, but here's the problem. When science and divinity or God, they are very distant. And if I believe more in science, I'm going to try to prove to you more than anything that there is no God. So how do I do that? I develop the things that's already, develop things that's better than what God created, humans. So I'm developing these machines or these things, and I talk about movies like, I know everybody's seen iRobot. Everybody's seen iRobot?
Yeah, long time ago.
Yeah, Will Smith, when the robots began to, like he said, they were cooking. They were doing human tasks.
Yeah.
And we got in the movie, the humans got relaxed.
And then they, I just want to make sure I got the right movie. They actually had feelings.
Yeah,
They developed feelings.
One of them was
Okay.
programmed, and that's where I say with Ian, and who's programming it, because those that don't believe in God, they're gonna believe
Absolutely.
that they can create.
Those
these
are the
feelings,
ones
that can do these
the-
things. Yes,
The evil, because in everything there's good and evil.
yes.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So I don't want to act ignorant to the fact,
Yes.
right, that anything in the wrong hands is dangerous.
Yes.
So we get that. So, but what I'm saying is, because we don't want to provoke or cause fear to be on people, and,
No.
and watch this, and then it becomes a community of people, and I'm just telling you, it's so easy for Black people to fall back and to have an excuse, and then you get left behind because it's here and it ain't going anywhere. And so, so my thing is, I didn't understand it, and most times we are afraid of that which we do not understand. And so all I'm saying is, we don't want to paint a picture that is scary to the point where people don't want to study it. Right? Because
True.
think about this, for a long time, people wouldn't turn to the book of Revelations in the Bible because they didn't understand it. But the little bit that they did hear was enough to provoke fear.
Yeah.
And so when we break down the definition of fear and what we all say, right?
Yeah.
So false evidence
Evidence
appearing,
appearing
so we get that. So I'm saying I believe that AI is coming in with a bad rap from a perspective of people that don't understand it, whereas the people that understand it, that have the intelligence or the money or whatever you want to call it to dig a little deeper and to learn more about it, they're using it and they are moving miles and top speed faster than we are if
And-
we just
So you
coasting.
So you
And-
basically conform to the earth, huh?
Yeah, and I'm agree with you on that, but
Some people.
I also think that it is purposeful too. One thing is AI, because we are all engulfed in it. Everybody has a computer. Everybody knows the internet. Everybody has a smartphone. Everybody knows all of this. So I don't think there's a person under the age of 80 that does not have any
Right.
knowledge of AI. So that, but I think,
And they may not know that they have
Right,
knowledge
right,
of AI,
right.
because some people don't know what AI is, and so that's
I'll
one of the
give you
reasons
that.
we're here.
Yeah, I'll give you
Thank
that.
you for joining
So-
us. This is Neutral Voices. Just
So what I
in
wanted
there.
to say within that is this is one of the things that we're not going to be able to get away from, because now it's become commonplace, as we all said.
Mm-hmm.
The cell phone is the one thing that, and Google.
Yeah.
We don't know anything. When we want to know where we want to go, Google how I'm gonna get to
Siri.
California from here. Google or Siri, and they're
Right.
gonna give you the information that you need. So I mean,
So I'm gonna ask you
in
a
recipes, I got your question, but recipes and all of that. I said, hold on, I'm gonna let you get your question. Hold on.
Did you even hear what he said?
I heard exactly what he said, but here's what I'm saying. But Doc V, when you say that we're going to be left behind, I think it's purposeful for not just Black people. I think the common man is being left behind, because there's going to be a greater mission of AI that none of us understand.
That's what we just. That's exactly where we were going.
Yeah. So
Yeah, but we can't be. I'm saying some people will be,
But- right.
But you have to make a decision. So that's what I'm saying. So there's all kind of. It's kind of like, how. So we had these training classes talking about finances with Brightpoint Collaboration, OMV, et cetera. And the people weren't in the building. They should have been in the building.
Should have been.
And so all I'm saying is it would be the same way if we have a training about AI and we're trying to educate our community and whoever they are, the young, the senior citizens, whoever. Some people are not going to embrace that. They're not going to have any interest whatsoever in AI. And a lot of times it's because of misunderstanding.
I can
And
see
so
that.
all I'm saying is that we need to come to the table understanding that there's various types of AI. Now, unfortunately for me tonight, I don't have my notes, so I'm coming off the dome. But because there's so many different ones, and obviously they all have a different definition, I'm saying there's something that we all can use and we can all benefit from. So yes, I do use Chat GPT. You could get the actual definition for what the GPT, et cetera, stands for. But I use it different levels of it, because there's the normal, but then there's like maybe the 3.5 and then the 4 point, then it's the 5. I mean, there's different levels and I use all of them for different things. and I don't want to tell everything that I use it for.
Right.
But I use it, and here's my thing, and this is where I'm saying it's a plus. It saves me a lot of effort, a lot of time, where I would just be wasting time to do basic research just to get to a point. I don't have to do all of that extra research and digging through 10, 20 books. I can hit a button and I can look at all of what it was able to process from that AI being that smart and can analyze, and it can analyze just, I'm saying a number, 50 million books in 2 seconds, where I would never be able to do that.
Right.
Right.
And so that's kind of one of the things I'm saying. So it's going to save us time. Now watch this. Here's another great benefit of AI. So I use it, yes, but watch this. How it's going to benefit us, like private investigators, people that's missing. Or they catch somebody on surveillance, but they only catch a portion of their face. Because of that facial recognition,
That's
that
not- that's
AI.
not good, though.
No. You
You have to-
don't
you
miss
have to-
this point.
you-
Now you always want somebody to let you finish. So
You've been
let me
you've been
finish.
rambling off for the last
I
3.5
need to
minutes.
finish this point.
Okay.
So all I'm saying is, from the positive perspective, it will be able to pick up that person and identify them with just a split second of seeing a snippet of who that person was.
And
So
actually, if you really looked at that part, what you just said, it really doesn't do it like you said. Because guess what? We just had this
We had
discussion.
this conversation.
I could go to this gas station every day. Every day. I always wear a hoodie. A random person could come in there and rob that gas station with the same facial features. They got a beard like me. They, same facial features as me. And guess what? I'm nowhere near the time that place got robbed. But they could pull me out instead of the person that actually do it. So that's part of the scary part of AI. So if we want to look
that's
at
the old version.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
They need to update their cameras.
No.
And the
They
skin
do.
tone.
Honestly.
And the skin
So the darker the
Yeah,
skin tone is,
exactly.
the harder it is for AI
But-
And to go
to
back to what you were
recognize.
saying about your,
I just need y'all
hold on,
to
let me
don't
finish.
mess the community up,
It's not
because
messing the
really you
community.
have to
If we gonna
update
tell
your
the truth,
cameras.
Let's tell the truth.
I'm telling
If
the
we're gonna tell
truth.
the truth, let's tell the truth.
Okay, so
And
listen,
it goes
because
back
we
to-
are trying to educate.
Oh my
I know,
goodness.
because they
You're
just.
right, Dr. Rita. My
So
bad. You're right.
listen.
I'm wrong. I didn't study.
So listen, all I'm saying is there's different technologies and different type of intelligence. So all I can tell you is, if they don't have it in the gas station today,
It's not
they
even-
may have an
it's not
opportunity
even-
to
it's
get
not-
it
it's not even
tomorrow.
coming in a gas
It's
station.
coming. I don't know where it's going to be. Gas station,
You're
grocery
right.
store, but
You're
they
right.
will be able to detect who
You're
it is.
absolutely correct.
Yes.
You're correct.
So there's been tons of cases of mistaken identity. That's a fact. But I'm talking about where artificial intelligence is going. So we're not just talking about today in this real
Even
time.
where it's going.
Where it's
at
going.
The point, that's too much invasiveness.
It's too much to digest. I
No,
get
it's
it.
not. It's not too much to
I
digest.
get
It's
it.
too much invasiveness,
Yeah.
because it's gonna get to the point where even when you hit one button, I mean, it's here today. It's here right now. I could be looking up car parts, and I could go to, say I went to Rock Auto, and I could go to my Facebook page.
Yeah, there it is.
and Rock Auto
There it
all up
is.
through here. So it's already picking up what you doing, when you doing it, and how often you do it, so it can consistently be in your face. So if it gets to that point where you even said you don't have to do a lot of research, you're just right there at the tip of your fingers. Once again, where's your creativity? Because now you letting somebody else control your creativity. You letting a machine control your creativity without using your thought process or your own thought process.
It depends on the industry, because I guarantee you they will not create a computer that's going to be able to take everybody's job and to do everything that humans can do. So I don't know if you're going to trust them.
Create a computer, they're going to create a robot.
A robot. I'm just saying.
I mean, matter of
I don't
fact,
think that they will be able to do that.
What was the last big major sporting event? Was it?
I saw that on the news. I
was
know what
it
you're
the
talking
Super
about.
Bowl?
This World Series.
No, it was before
Where
that.
they used the
No, it was it was the Super Bowl where they had artificial people in the stands.
Oh, well,
Literally. They had a whole section of artificial people with different shapes, different sizes, different colors in the stands. as fans.
Okay, so,
So
you're
if
going
they
somewhere
get-
with that. So,
So if
where
they,
you
if
going?
they got that far already, just imagine how much further they're willing to take this.
I get it.
I mean,
you
let's
sound
look-
like you scared.
I'm not scared, but you have to.
You sweating.
Whatever.
You
At
nervous?
some point, you have to realize if something were,
It's all
if they were to
good.
take it to the next extreme level, how many of us can actually sit down and read a map without going on Google?
Right.
I'm just saying.
Stop.
But
I was a
real
Boy
talk.
Scout.
But me too. But real talk, and you get what I'm saying, Clarence?
Yes.
That makes sense because, some fact, now, guess what? You got somebody cooking for you. You got somebody. You got 6 robots doing
Yeah.
6 different things that you can do yourself. Why?
So, since you're the lead of this show tonight,
I'm sure
let me
they
ask
take a
this
lead.
question: How would you like to lead the people,
What you mean?
the community? What would you like for them to walk away knowing about AI?
It's here. Just be careful. That's all.
That's profound.
Be
I'm gonna give you
careful
that.
or be aware, be educated.
Careful.
All of
Be
that.
careful.
All of that. Careful encompass all of that.
It encompasses all of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Sound like
be
you're scared
careful.
people.
No, it's just be careful with it. Because it can honestly, it is a good thing in certain aspects, but in other aspects, it could destroy you. It could destroy humans. Being real. If you really did your
In the
research,
wrong people's hands.
if you really did your research, you will understand it's a lot of good in it, but it's also a lot
What
of
do you
bad.
think?
Well,
what,
I just want a question for you, Dr. B,
Yes.
before we leave, because you have mentioned this several times, and because not that you don't know, but I just want to understand your thoughts of what is the wrong people's hands, because you want us, you say us as a community to embrace it. I don't think we have us as a community involved in it enough. I don't mean just in learning it. I mean in actually working it. I don't think it's a thing. And the thing about it is, and what bothers me and that concerns me most of the time, if you look at most things about AI, it is so secretive. They don't give you the whole nugget. They give you pieces of it. So if it was free, so I agree with E. And when he say be careful, and I'm gonna give you some biblical that you got to be
Appreciate.
No, you got to be wise as a serpent, but
Yes.
harmless as a dove.
Yes.
So that means yes, we have to know about it, but we can sit around and watch it. But we also like we talked about in the grocery store, we need to start getting equity in this. We need to start putting ourselves in this because we don't know who's controlling. That's why I wanted to understand when you said the right hands. How do we determine, or when do we know that it's the right hands?
And so I would say more so than when do we know, whether it's the right or wrong hands. But I think, so when you're saying being wise, I think wisdom. And so especially when we pray for wisdom. And so God will give it to us, right? Liberally. So what I'm saying is if this is going on and they have an AI conference, and yes, it may cost you some thousands to get to it. All I'm saying is we have to stop making excuses and pay attention to where we're putting our dollars and invest in the training and education and knowledge. And maybe we need to bring people into our community to teach it. So all I'm saying is you can't close your eyes like you think it's the boogeyman and it's going to go away. It's here. And it's here to stay.
I'm agree with you
So
on that,
only
yes.
thing I'm saying is not necessarily looking for a particular man's hand, but just like we understand the fall, we understand Satan, how that worked. Somebody, right?
right.
It happened. It can happen. We understand the garden. So I don't have time to go through a sermon.
I got you.
But I'm just saying, in the wrong person's hand. So that's how things actually go rogue. So somebody did something. So kind of like when I'm gonna call him old boy because I don't know his name. Who was creating Frankenstein? Something happened,
Frankenstein.
I'm just
The
saying.
monster is-
So
the
who was
doctor was
creating
Frankenstein.
The doctor, yeah.
Dr.
So I'm
Frankenstein.
just saying, so somebody in the lab
Right.
is what I'm saying, and they want to add one more thing or go to the extreme, do one more test on something.
I got you.
The wrong person's hands, so you can get too far out there.
Right.
And so so it's research. I don't want to make it seem like it's Veronica's theory.
No.
It is research, but at the same time, I don't move in fear. So I embrace that particular thing because I know that it's going to help us in the long run. And so I believe in all of the things that it can do for the police, obviously our police department, as well as the government. And I'm using it in the educational system. So I believe, again, it's here to stay. And so I will leave y'all with this. It's not a replacement, but it is a way for man to be revealed in the progress of how far we have come along with artificial intelligence. And so, yeah. So listen, this is Neutral Voices. We're sharing information about artificial intelligence. If you didn't know, hopefully you learned something through all of the emotions that we have had going back and forth here tonight.
And I want to say this,
Yes.
because you did make a point.
Yeah.
Don't just listen to people telling you.
Yes.
Research it. Get out there and
Absolutely.
find out for yourself.
Research.
Research it. As you always say, we're not professionals on these subjects. We just
Right.
give our opinion. But
Absolutely.
for you to know, research it.
Research it and embrace innovation. I mean, that's what we do as a people. It says that the Bible says that God will give you ideas to get wealth, right? So if he give you ideas to get wealth, that means that God's giving you ideas that's going to make some changes, and I mean monumental, and
Right.
that's what's happening right now today. And so with that being said, this is Neutral Voices, and before we go, we always say,
Always protect your mind.
What do you really